Hi guys, welcome to Classic Sitcoms Facts and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Before we get started, I ask you to please subscribe and please share these out. Thank you. Today's video. Sometimes when you dig for something and you look for something when doing a channel like this, you find things that surprise you. And today that happened to me. Let me share it with you. 60 years ago, actor Jay North was in the midst of starring as young Dennis Mitchell on the classic TV sitcom Dennis the Menace, which was at the time shooting its second season. His mother Dorothy wrote a guest column in the New York Daily News in which she expressed that her one hope was that her son would grow up to be a normal, happy youngster, that fame wouldn't really touch him. Sadly, it didn't happen like that. I never really got the education I should have gotten, a bitter Jay admitted to the Post-Star Gazette in '88. You're totally cushioned on a soundstage. You never see ordinary kids. They don't know how to react to you when they do see you. So you have a very strained relationship with kids your own age. Well, in this business, as a child performer, you are so brainwashed and so geared to pleasing the adults around you, they program you. They tell you you're going to be famous. And you don't realize that someday it's all going to end. Author, performer, and pop culture historian Jeffrey Mark, who has been friends with the former child star for over 25 years, points out, "I love Jay as a human being and as a friend. I'm enormously fond of him, but he is a product of a parent who didn't know how to parent, a parent who sold their child's soul for money. His mother abdicated her responsibilities as a mother and was not there on the set to protect him. She gave that responsibility to greedy relatives who used him for money." Such is the backdrop of Dennis the Menace, which originally ran 59 to 63 and is currently airing on Antenna TV Network, in case you're wondering. Based on the newspaper comic strip created by Hank Ketchum, the character of Dennis is described as a good-natured kid who inadvertently finds himself in trouble pretty much all the time, particularly with the next-door neighbor George Wilson. Starring alongside Jay are Herbert Anderson and Gloria Henry as Dennis's parents. Joseph Kearns as Mr. Wilson, and then after his death, Gail Gordon took over as his brother, John Wilson. All these years later, the show remains as much a delight to watch as it always has. Although, as noted above, as I said, its making was anything but delightful for Jay North. While things have improved over the past couple of decades, Hollywood history is filled with tales of young actors who have either been abused and abandoned by the system. Other examples are Anissa Jones from Family Affair and Rusty Hamer from Make Room for Daddy, whose ultimate solution to their pain came in the form of suicide. Jay didn't get that far, but he admits that he came close. His scars run deep. Excuse me. He was born Jay Weatherly North in Hollywood, California, the only child of Jay and Dorothy North. His childhood was rough in the sense that his father was an alcoholic and his parents separated when he was 4 years old, which marked the last time he actually ever saw his dad. His mother, Dorothy, was hired as a secretary to the West Coast branch of the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, where she worked throughout the Dennis years. Through that job, she actually got the then 6-year-old Jay a guest spot on a local LA children's show, Cartoon Express. That appearance led him to being taken on by a talent agent in the start of his acting career. Writing a piece for the Press and Sun Bulletin of Birmingham, New York in '67, Jay remembered things a little differently. The acting started with television commercials when I was 6. My mother took me to see the Queen for a Day series, and before I left, I landed a part finger painting in a commercial. That commercial actually led to 1958 guest appearances on The George Gobel Show, Eddie Fisher Show, Milton Berle Show, and Wanted Dead or Alive, as well as the 1959-77 Sunset Strip, Rescue 8, Cheyenne, Bronco, Colt 45, Sugarfoot, The Detective starring Robert Taylor, and Tennessee Ernie Ford Show. In June of '58, he answered a nationwide talent search for Dennis the Menace, where he competed against numerous other hopefuls. Although his first auditions didn't do well, he nailed the second one. Following that, he screen tested with Herbert Anderson, Gloria Henry, and Joseph Kearns. Jay wouldn't hear anything until the spring of '59 when he got the word that he had been hired to star in the series, which debuted October 4th of that year. Hank Ketchum commented he excelled in the role of Dennis the Menace. They couldn't have found a better one to play the part. There was about 500 boys at the tryouts, Jay recalled in 73. They had all dyed blonde hair and were wearing denim overalls. We each had a 3-minute screen test, and I think I was excited and happy when I found out I won. I don't think I understood then I would have to spend 8 hours every weekday, in the studio with adults. They gave me 3 hours of school, 4 hours of work, and 1 hour for lunch, and it was lonely. In her self-written piece, Dorothy detailed, I drive Jay to the studio each day before going to work myself. His aunt then takes over while he goes through his paces from 8:30 to 5:30, including a 3-hour school period. Jay's teacher tells me she finds him an extremely bright and third grade student. He gets A's in everything except arithmetic, and he picked up a B in that. Not too bad, is it? As his mother, I don't want Jay to stand out that much. Fame is wonderful, but I must be careful not to let it wrap his life. I know many mothers will agree with me that is an overwhelming problem for a parent of a gifted child. Apparently, there were other problems that were not taken into consideration. Like with all the child actors, it's hard work, said Jeffrey. It's not play. There's hardly a scene that he's not in. He was on the set all the time. He was unhappy on the set. He was unhappy at home, but he did enjoy the work because he has talent. There are child actors who are hired because they're cute or they have the right look. Not every child actor is actually talented. Jay was, and that's a double-edged sword of having talent and wanting to use it, but having everyone around you using it for their personal goals. His on-set caretakers were Aunt and Uncle Marie and Hal Hopper, who were, according to Jay, cruel taskmasters. If I didn't live up to her unrealistic expectations, he said, she'd hit me, physically abuse me. I remember I used to wake up every single morning thinking, my God, do I have to spend another day with this woman? Because I would go in and do a scene, I'd come off the set, and everybody would say, hey, you did a great job. And I would get slapped across the face and taken into the dressing room and get a spanking or verbal tongue lashing or whatever. She'd grab my hair and just shake me and made life a living hell for a whole 4 years. Over the years, Jay has sung his praises of his mother, though, who, he says, never took a dime from him. More unusual than you might think back then. At the same time, he wasn't able to say anything to her about what was going on because his uncle and aunt threatened greater bodily harm. As a kid, and given that he had already gone through, there was no reason to doubt them. Jeannie Russell, who played Dennis's frenemy, Margaret Wade, told Torrance, California's The Daily Breeze in 93, it was clear on the set that Jay was a hypersensitive kid and his aunt was uncommonly stern and businesslike, but I never personally saw her hit him. But if Jay says she abused him in private, then I'm inclined to believe him. The sheer demands of being in every scene all by itself had to be extremely stressful. Any extra pressure from his aunt would have made it unbearable. Noted Jay, she was careful never to hit me in front of anyone else and in places on my body where it wouldn't show, although I'm shocked the bruises weren't visible on my face. What do you say? I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. It's going to be hard to watch Dennis the Menace now. That's all I got for you. I hope you got something out of this. I saw this and it had to be put up here. I had to do it. Kind of sad, really. Actually, very sad. Have a great day. God bless you, and I'll be praying for you.